stealings leads the major leagues this entire year. And today, Alex Avila will try and slow down the aggressive Angels as well. It's a cloudy and overcast day today at the ballpark. No rain right now, though. That's the good news. The final game of this three-game series featuring the Tigers and the Los Angeles Angels. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen. Glad to have you with us for the final game of the series. Tigers going for the sweep here this afternoon. Thanks basically for a walk-off home run yesterday by Johnny Damon. And I'll tell you what, Ron, Johnny Damon has been such a terrific addition to this lineup. You know, he has really solidified that number 2 spot. We were wondering what we would do when Polanco decided to leave as a free agent, but Johnny has been literally Johnny on the spot as far as that number 2 spot. His second career walk-off home run against Shields, believe it or not, of the 4 that he has, and the Tigers bench was very, very happy. But Lloyd McClendon told me when the Tigers went on that road trip to Seattle that Johnny Damon was on the verge of really starting to break out with all the pieces that he has in his swing. Sometimes it takes guys a little longer. Since he's told me that, Johnny has been on fire. In his last 18 games, a .418 average after starting the year at a .130 through his first 7 games. Now, Justin Verlander will get the call this afternoon for the Tigers. And for JV, it's been kind of a struggle in terms of still getting that pitch count lower. He's trying to do that again today. You know, he's still a keeper, and he's tried a lot of different things. He's tried to be overpowering early. He's tried to back off a little bit and go with some more touch and feel stuff. But the bottom line is he can't throw 100 pitches in just 5 innings. And if he does that again today, the Tigers are going to have to get into that bullpen, which they don't want to. The bullpen has logged more innings than any team in the American League. All right, how about Jared Weaver? This is a guy that pitched pretty well against the Tigers in his last start back in Anaheim. What can we expect from him today? Well, he's legit. I talked to Mike Butcher, their pitching coach, before the game, and I said, what makes him so tough? And he said, Rod, it's the deception. It's the arm angle that he throws from. He throws across his body, which makes him very, very tough on right-handers. And then if you're a left-handed hitter, from the angle he throws from, Alex Avila told me that it looks like the fastball is coming directly at you. The Tigers have had some success against Weaver in their career. They've been able to hit him around a little bit. So his earned run average career against Detroit is over 6. All right, Tigers going for the sweep this afternoon. That's the story from here at Comerica Park. Now with more in our coverage today, let's go to the Call Sam Studios in Mickey York. overcast day here in the Motor City today as the Tigers and the Los Angeles Angels wind up this 3-game series here at Comerica Park. And if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or at the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Mike Scioscia hasn't been too happy with the first 2 games in the series. We'll see what his team can do here this afternoon. Their starting lineups presented by Honda Bloomfield. Eric Ibar will lead off. He'll play shortstop, followed by Bobby Abreu in right. Torrey Hunter is the center fielder. Hideki Matsui will clean up. Kendry Morales, a lifetime against Verlander, 5 for 12 with a homer. Howie Kendrick is at second base. And their bottom 3 today features Napoli, Wood, and Reggie Willits. Here is the scouting report on Justin Verlander, presented by Ace Hardware.
I'm going to keep it simple today with Verlander. He simply needs to go out and own it today against this Angels team. The bullpen of the Tigers have logged quite a few innings this year, and Verlander needs to stay out there at least 7 innings today. And if he's going to do that, he's going to have to miss some bats. Surprisingly enough, 121 pitches a couple of starts ago against this Angels team, and they fouled off 37 pitches against Verlander, 24 of which were with 2 strikes.
Well, let's see what transpires here today. Tigers going for the 3-game sweep of the Angels before they head to Minnesota. Justin Verlander set to go to work, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. Ball outside to Eric Ibar. 69 degrees our game time temperature here this afternoon. Ibar, Abreu, and Hunter, the top 3 from Mike Scioscia today. There's a strike called on Ibar. A couple of hits in the series, 2 for 9, and Eric now has hit safely in his last 6 in a row for the Angels. Here's the 1-1. Slap foul back out of play, 1-2. It has been a while since the Tigers last swept the Angels here in Detroit. You've got to go back to 1996. Last time that happened. And they are 1 win away from doing that. And that's fouled away again. 1-2. The count stays on Ibar. So already we see some foul balls against Verlander that you can expect more of here today. It's just been something that Justin has had to deal with. Trying to put away Ibar, who bats .253. And another foul. Tigers yesterday using the walk-off home run for a victory. They had that big 8-run inning in the opener, so they've done it in different ways. Yesterday was a close game all the way through, but Johnny Damon has been absolutely terrific.
Johnny Damon crushed that ball, and it barely got out because of the way the wind was blowing to left field yesterday. Barely got out.
In the air to center field. Jackson on the move. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively, presented by Beaumont Hospital. In the outfield, you've got the slugger Brennan Bonch back out there today. Jackson in center. Ordonez is in right. Defensively, you've got Avila behind the plate. He has thrown out 5 base runners this year, and he and Gerald Laird have quietly started to rack up some really nice numbers at throwing out would-be base stealers.
It's been good to see, and especially Avila. His throws have been strong. They've been accurate.
A lot of credit goes to the pitchers. They've been giving them a lot of time to do so.
There's a strike called on Bobby Abreu. I think most catchers would agree and would tell you that if they have no shot, if the pitcher takes too long to get the ball to the plate, although it's a bad statistic for the catcher, there's really not a whole lot you can do. And that's why the pitchers are just as important in that equation. There's a ball down low, 1-1.
I was down in the clubhouse and talking to Avila before the game, and he was sitting in front of his locker watching some video on Jared Weaver, and several of the veteran Tigers were just sort of trickling in, and I said, "What time did you get here today?" He said, "About 9 o'clock.
Driven high in the air, hit well, center field. On the run is Jackson, still going back, and the center field area will swallow that one up. 2 gone.
Jackson's got tremendous speed, and he accelerates after he takes his very first step. And one of the reasons why he's able to run this ball down is the ball is coming back to him because of the wind that's blowing directly out toward left field today. But he gets jumps and makes plays look easy in center field. He is a glider.
I was asking Austin the other day if he has had any problems at all playing this center field or any challenges at all. And he said, no, the only thing is during day games here, there's a gap between decks right behind home plate. that sometimes the sunshine will peek through and you lose it momentarily, but other than that, it's not a bad outfield to play. As Torrey Hunter stands in. He taps that one foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Torrey had the afternoon off yesterday. He told me that Mike Scioscia had told him before they left Anaheim which day he was going to give him off. So Scioscia, one of those managers that likes to alert his veteran players as to when he's going to give them a blow.
Drill to center field. Here comes Jackson again, but he'll play it on 1 hop. So 3 straight balls hit right back up the middle. That is the first Angels hit of the game. And it keeps it going now for Hideki Matsui. Matsui in the series 2 for 8. He has an RBI. And batting .272. They lost Vladimir Guerrero in the offseason to Texas. Matsui was signed for a year. And he is the new man in the middle of their lineup this season. Quick throw and the runner back. Hunter's lead at first base being held there by Cabrera. And a strike called on Matsui. Pretty good numbers against Verlander. 6 for 15 with a home run. Matsui, of course, was the MVP of the World Series last year and really became the first full-time DH in the World Series to win that award. He's swinging and missing there, 0-2.
Pretty good changeup here. Verlander kind of sped his body up, and a lot of times the hitter will be fooled by the speed of the body, and then all of a sudden here comes the arm and the changeup, and with real good arm speed, and it can fool even a good hitter like Matsui.
Bouncing ball hit towards short. Santiago has to backtrack, and his throw is in time. Side retired, no runs, a hit, 1 left. Let's go to the bottom of the first. On Jared Weaver, and here is the Tigers batting order presented by Big Boy. It features Jackson, Damon, and Ordonez at the top of the lineup, and for Maglio, 18 RBIs, tied for 7th in the American League. Miguel Cabrera is cleaning up at first base, followed by Brendan Bosch, Brandon Inge, Alex Avila, Scott Sizemore, and Ramon Santiago. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Jared Weaver. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
He's got legitimate stuff. A fastball anywhere from 90 to 93 with really nice secondary pitches. And anytime you go up against a guy like this, the Tigers' game plan coming in is just out-competing. You got to drive the pitch count up. You got to have quality at-bats. Weaver's not going to give into the strike zone, so you have to be ready to really battle him today. He's a good pitcher.
Austin Jackson leads it off. He's had a fine series. Of course, he had the 5-hit game a couple of nights ago and is now 6 for 10 against Angels pitching in this series. Weaver's 0-1 pitch. Pulled foul just outside of the bag at third. No balls, 2 strikes. And the Tigers leadoff man, Austin Jackson, batting .356 coming into play today. And among all the rookies in the American and National League, this guy has really stood out in the first month of the year. The 0-2 pitch is inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And then we just learned yesterday that the guy that Austin replaces here in Detroit, Curtis Granderson, was placed on the disabled list for the New York Yankees. The 1-2. Breaking ball sails away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weaver has that herky-jerky slinging motion. And it's fouled straight back. 2-2 the count stays. Weaver goes 6'7", 205 out of Northridge, California. And a check swing inside, run it full now at 3-2. Damon and then Ordonez to follow here in the Tigers' first inning. Full count pitch. Fouled away. Well, we talk about the depth that this Angels pitching staff has had, and I guess if you had to identify an ace on their staff, Weaver might be at the top of that list.
He has inherited that role, of course, with John Lackey decided to leave to go to Boston, a 5-year deal, and you really can't argue with the success that he's had in his very young career. He's a really good pitcher. Doesn't usually beat himself.
How about Jackson? Here's another base hit. He loops one inside the line. He's going to go for 2, and he'll get in there easily with a stand-up double.
What an outstanding at-bat by Jackson. Not only did he see 8 pitches, which allowed Damon and Maglia a really nice look, but he now is standing on second base with a good fastball inside. He inside-outs the ball the opposite way and slices it right on the foul line for a double. What an approach. What an at-bat.
Tigers have their first hit, and now here's Johnny Damon.
This combination at the top of the Tigers batting order has been lethal on this homestand. They have, in that first inning, so many times scored runs.
Damon at .344 now. He's been 6 for 9 in this series. Meanwhile, the Tigers just continue to pound away the doubles. 69, the most in Major League Baseball.
Damon is one of those guys that when the season starts, it takes a while for him to get it going because of the fact that he's got so many moving parts in his swing. Sometimes just going through spring training doesn't get it for some guys. It took Damon about a week into the season before he really started to gel in this number 2 spot.
That'll get away from Napoli, the catcher. Advance the runner now to third base.
And here's proof of that fact. First 7 games, he was hitting 130. After that, 418. One of the hottest hitters in all of baseball. On base percentage is off the charts as well.
Now an RBI chance here for Johnny, ahead in the count 3-0. Damon has knocked in 13. His home run yesterday to win it for the Tigers was his first of the year.
As good as Weaver is, his career earned run average is over 6 against Detroit. So they've hit him around pretty good.
Yeah, Weaver had that nice game, although he received a no decision against the Tigers his last time out. But prior to that game, Tigers offense really was not intimidated at all by Weaver.
Weaver has a really good changeup, and he's going to use quite a few of those today. You may remember when he went back out, Mario, for that 7th inning out in Anaheim. That's all he threw was changeups to get him through that 7th inning, and they were some good ones.
And he gets Damon for strike 3, and Johnny knew it. And he'll tote the bat back to the bench.
Good pitch. Too close to take with 2 strikes. Johnny will tell you that himself. But the Tigers still have a golden opportunity of getting on the board first. Socha also one of those managers not afraid to play the infield in early in a game to knock down a run, but not choosing to do so here with Maglio standing in the batter's box.
18 RBIs for Ordonez. And a ball inside 1-0. Weaver doing a nice job of coming back against Damon. He fell behind 3-0. And ends up striking him out. Jackson still at third base. Swing and a miss. Weaver won 16 last year, was 16-8 with a very good ERA of 3.75.
I was talking to Mike Butcher before the game today, the outstanding pitching coach of the Angels, and he said that one of the things that helps Weaver not only his good stuff, but the fact that he throws across his body more so than any right-hander in the American League. And it's just tough on right-handed hitters. It looks like the ball is literally coming from behind Weaver. Take a look at where he steps on the mound. He steps right there, so you can already see that once he delivers that ball toward home plate, Maglio sees the ball coming from behind him, and when he's getting that curveball over as he just did, he's tough to hit.
And that one just missed. You know, Tim Lincecum does a little bit of that over in the National League as well. There's a lot of that deception and that stuff that really makes it hard for right-handed batters.
Yep. There's a couple of differences with those two guys. Obviously, they're both very, very talented, but Lincecum a lot smaller than Weaver, and Lincecum more over the top. Weaver's more of a 3/4 arm slot guy, and every now and then he'll even go down a little bit lower with that breaking ball when he's trying to get more break with the pitch.
2-2 on Maglio.
But literally stepping toward third base, which is what you usually don't teach. You usually try to teach your pitcher to step straight ahead, you know, so that that front shoulder stays locked and loaded in line with home plate. But no problem for Weaver throwing across his body.
Wave and a miss, and down goes Ordonez, and now Weaver with a chance to get out of this inning.
This is what Maglio's looking at. The step across the body, and then when he's able to locate the ball in the outside corner like that, it's tough. They're not going to give Cabrera anything to hit, I don't think. At least I wouldn't.
No, I'm with you on that.
And they went out to talk about it just for a moment. Napoli, who was catching for the 3rd consecutive day here, went out to talk to Weaver, and I'm sure that's exactly what he reminded him. You know, you don't have to pitch to this guy.
And Cabrera's had a good series, 4 for 8.
And he was clobbering Angels pitching when we were out west, too.
And I'm sure that memory is still fresh in their minds. Tigers player and pitcher of the month. Cabrera gets that honor, and Joel Zumaya out of the bullpen. Boy, has he been dominant.
Well deserved.
2 mainstays, hopefully, for many years here in Detroit. The 0-1. 0-2. The inning started with a double by Jackson. He advanced to third on a wild pitch, and then Damon was ahead in the count 3-0. It was looking bleak for Weaver, but he's now 0-2 on Cabrera. Off the mask of Napoli, and that rung his bell.
Napoli going to go out and talk to Weaver about that last pitch, too. 0-2. Tried to sneak a piece of cheese by Cabby, and Cabby almost got him. That ball's right down the middle. That's not where you want your 0-2 pitches to Cabrera.
Weaver now asking for a new baseball. Just underway here at Comerica, bottom of the 1st, no score. Cabrera leads the American League with 26 driven in. One ball and 2 strikes. It's got to be hard for hitters like Cabrera, and you can put a lot of guys in this category, Pujols, and the really good hitters in the game, when you know the guys are with a base open trying to at least pitch around them, not to expand your strike zone and swing at pitches that aren't strikes.
That's a great point, and it takes a special individual to really differentiate the two in certain situations.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes. How about Weaver? He strikes out the side after the leadoff double. Is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. And by Comcast. Call 1-800-COMCAST for TV, phone, and internet. By the way, don't forget, we'd like you to get involved here this afternoon. Vote for your Tigers McDonald's player of the game using your cell phone. It's pretty simple. Text Tigers followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338. See the final results when we finish our game here this afternoon from Comerica Park. Standard text rates apply. Kendry Morales leading it off against Justin Verlander. Good pitching matchup here today. Verlander and Weaver. First pitch strike on Morales. He's had himself a nice series, 4 for 8. A couple of runs scored. Sunshine peeking through the clouds now here at the ballpark. The 0-1 is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
What in the world would they have done with Morales had Teixeira decided to stay in Anaheim as a free agent before he went to New York last year?
Boy, it's a great question because Kendry had been up and down the previous 2 years, and they were really high on him. And when Teixeira left, they said, okay, no big deal. We'll just give this guy the job. But that's a good question.
He's owned it since they've given him the job. That much is for certain. Switch hitter with power, hitting 300. Finished 5th last year in the MVP voting.
And good numbers against Verlander. And I saw some quotes from Morales because he was putting up good numbers in the minor leagues and waiting his turn. But he said, look, there are some seasoned guys up there at the big league level. I just have to wait my turn. That'll be hit out to left field and run down by Brennan Bosch. 1 out.
Well, he was saying all the right things. Meanwhile, continue to put up real good numbers in the minor leagues for the Angels. And Brennan Bosch has put up some really nice numbers in the Tigers minor leagues. And he's already started off his big league career as well with a bang. Big, strong, physical guy. You can't teach size, partner. He's 6'6".
Yep, that is God-given, and he has used it to the best of his ability. Grand slam the other night. Howie Kendrick is the batter. Howie batting .291. And if there was ever a guy in the major leagues that was one of those guys that was never really highly recruited or highly scouted, it would be Howie Kendrick. And he has made it all the way to the major league level and a very respected hitter. But he was not highly recruited out of high school at all. In fact, he was having trouble finding a JC team that would keep him. He had tried out for several JC teams, was cut by a few, and finally got an opportunity to play. St. John's River Community College.
That's a great story.
It is because
His high school, as they say, was out on the sticks, so not too many scouts came to see him play, nor did the word circulate. But once he got to a situation where he could play in junior college, the Angels kind of dug him up in their scouting department, and here he is. That's outside. Run it to 3-2 now on Kendrick.
Guys get to the big leagues in all kinds of different ways. Some guys right out of high school. You're talking about Kendrick, J.C. Ball. Of course, you've got your Justin Verlanders. They go to D1 schools and highly regarded first round draft choices.
Well, and there are those that were also walk-ons in college, like David Eckstein, who walked on in Florida and carved out a nice big league career.
Polanco also had to do that. Of course, Polanco now with the Philadelphia Phillies, but he had to try out for a junior college team down in Miami to get an opportunity to realize his big league dreams.
Swing and a miss. Verlander has a strikeout. That'll be his first of the game.
Verlander looks awfully good today. The fastball anywhere from 94 to 96 with a little movement to it because of that velocity. And the circle changeup is really a good pitch for him, and he's locating it well. You're always a little worried about throwing a changeup to a right-handed batter because a lot of times they fade down and in to the right-handers, and that's where right-handers do a lot of their damage on inside pitches that are low. But if you can locate it down and away, it's a really good pitch against a righty.
Well, it is the month of May, his first start this month, and of course he's been very good over his career this month. In fact, Verlander 14-6 with a 2.78 ERA. Once May comes a calling, and this is his first May start. 0-1 on Mike Napoli, hitting 196. Napoli has 3 extra base hits in this series, all of his hits for extra bases. Big, powerful bat. 31 home runs a couple of years ago in the Texas League in Double-A. Rolled foul, 1-2. And they have been going through some catchers in Anaheim this year with the injuries to Wilson and to Mathis. And then running Napoli out there quite a bit now. Swing and a miss, and Verlander gets another strikeout, his second of the inning and second of the game. A 1-2-3 frame.
Half of the first looked like Austin Jackson led off with a double down the right field corner, but then Weaver got busy. He struck out Damon, he struck out Ordonez, and he also struck out Cabrera. All 3 on real good fastballs with late life.
So Weaver back to work, and he'll face Brendan Bosch, Brandon Inge, and Alex Avila. Bosch takes ball 1 outside.
Word will start to circulate when Bosch is playing about the fact that he loves to jump on the first pitch, and that's why Weaver threw that first one about a foot outside to see if Bosch wanted to swing at that one.
I think word will also start to circulate about his throwing arm in right field as well. He's made a couple of nice throws that has kind of gotten lost in his hitting ability in his first big league opportunity. The 1-1. Chase that one 1-2. Bosch last year led the Eastern League with 15 outfield assists. So he has a terrific throwing arm. I asked him if he pitched in high school with that strong throwing arm. He said, yeah, until I started hitting a lot of home runs. And I started playing the outfield. 1-2, the count stays. Those numbers there from Toledo earned him the early season call-up with the injury to Carlos Guillen. Driven down the right field line, but he got out in front of it. Friday night, though, he put a hurting on one. A grand slam home run
against the traffic. Left center field.
2-2. I also asked Bosch, you must have played shortstop too, because the guys with the great arms, the great athletes were shortstop. He said, well, I'm left-handed, so no, I didn't. I said, oh yeah, that's right. I felt a little bit foolish there. How many left-handed shortstops have you seen?
Hey, believe it or not, there were some guys that some of your better athletes that played short in Little League.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously when you start getting into high school and stuff like that, you're not going to do it. But in Little League, it didn't really matter which hand you threw. The best player usually played shortstop.
Well, they retired Bosch here, 1 gone in the second. That'll bring out Brandon Inge. Inge at 255. And Weaver misses inside, 1-0.
There's something else about Weaver here through the first 33 pitches. He's mixing all these pitches in early as well. The slider, the changeup, the fastball, 4-seam and 2-seam variety.
2-0.
And trying to prevent his ball club from being swept. Because once they leave here, they've got to go into some more hostile environment, and that's in Boston for 4 days.
That's a good point. And those games obviously will all be very long games. They typically are there.
And draining.
And so his job today is to keep the Tigers out of the Angels bullpen. They'll need it in Boston. The Angels finally got rid of that nemesis Boston in the playoffs last year as they beat the Red Sox. They had not been able to do it. It seemed like every year the Red Sox would kick Mike Scioscia's team out of the playoffs, but last year they finally dispatched Boston. The 2-2. 3-2 on Brandon Inge. Alex Avila waiting on deck. Grounded foul, third base side. You know, speaking of the playoffs, Rod, and we kind of touched on this before when we played the Angels, but it's a very deep pitching staff here. But if you had your choice going into the playoffs, whether you would like to have maybe 1 or 2 dominant guys as opposed to a deep staff, what would you pick?
Dominant.
Would you?
Yep. Dominant pitching wins in the postseason.
Line to left field, sinking, base hit.
That's why the Yankees were scared at the fact that the Tigers almost got in last year. No disrespect to the Minnesota Twins, but the Tigers spent 164 days in first place last year. Minnesota only 8, and one of those was the final day of the year. But Johnny Damon said as much. The Yankees didn't want to see Jackson, Verlander, and Porcello rolling in the Yankee Stadium in the postseason.
Yeah, when you have a short series and you jump out maybe a win or 2 because you have dominant pitching, I guess that can set the tone. Here's Avila. Alex with 3 hits on the season, trying to get it going offensively here.
It was Alex that was telling me, because of the arm slot that Weaver throws from, when he throws that fastball inside, at the velocity at over 90 miles an hour, and it had some swing back action to it. He says it looks like the ball is going to hit you. He says, so you have to really understand that Weaver's a guy that has good control. He's not going to hit you, but it still looks that way from where he's throwing from.
Tigers have their second hit, the base hit by Inge. Popped up left side, heading back toward the seats, and it'll get there.
Alex also told me the other day that he's been late on fastballs. He says for whatever reason he's just not getting to the fastballs the way that he'd like to, and this is an indication of that. First pitch fastball from Weaver. He's sitting on the fastball but still not able to get to it. A lot of that goes to Weaver because of the fact that he's good, but Avila has recognized one of the problems he's had this year, and that's what he's looking to do right now, catch the baseball out in front a little bit further.
So how do you remedy that?
Well, you just got to get started soon. You got to get that front foot down. You've got to be committed that you're going to get a fastball. And if you do get the fastball, regardless of whether it's a hair inside or outside or whatever the case may be, if you're looking fastball, it doesn't have to be a great pitch. And I think sometimes Alex gets caught in because he's got good plate discipline, waiting for that perfect pitch instead of jumping on maybe a mistake fastball, something that's up and out of the strike zone.
Here's the 0-1. Off speed, missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Alex. Avila is also searching for that first RBI of the year.
Well, it's good to see the Tigers have gotten off to a nice start, despite some of their guys not necessarily producing from an offensive standpoint the way that you'd like to see them produce.
Well, and that's true, and there was, I think, coming into the season, the worry that 7, 8, 9 might not produce a lot offensively, and Gerald Laird has gotten off to a slow start, as has Avila.
Yep.
Scott Sizemore still trying to feel his way through.
Here's that count, though. I mean, it's a predictable fastball count here for Avila. I mean, he should not be late on it if he does get the fastball. Apparently, Socha thinking that possibly there could be a hit and run on with Avila in a favorable count, and you don't really want to pitch out to run the count to 3-1. We'll see.
Runner goes, and he hits it high in the air, shallow center. Torrey Hunter coming in. Avila is retired, and Inge goes back to first base. 2 outs. Well, Gatorade is in Hockey Town to reunite 2 high school teams from 1999 for Season 2 of Replay the Series. Catholic Central and Trenton are training for their game on Sunday, May 9th. They'll settle the score with the help of Detroit hockey legends Gordie Howe, Brendan Shanahan, and Scotty Bowman. To learn more and for more information on where to buy tickets, check out replaytheseries.com. 2 outs for Scott Sizemore. Strike 1 from Weaver.
Don't know for sure, but that could have been a hit and run on that 2-1 pitch to Avila with Inge running. Inge doesn't get the steal sign very often, and we've watched Jim over the last 4 years as the manager of the Tigers. When one of his players is struggling offensively, he tries to jumpstart that player by putting on a hit and run in a favorable count.
I would think that probably was then, based on that criteria. It was 2-1. Alex struggling.
Take all the guesswork out of it for the hitter. He's got one job, and that's just to swing the bat, no matter where the ball is.
Sizemore, 1 for 7 of the series. Friday's solo home run against Pinheiro was his first major league homer. He's part of that 8-run fourth. Fouled back out of play.
Pretty much everything we've heard about Sizemore is true. Very short, quick, compact swing. Plays the game the right way. He's a battler. He's a hustler. Not going to overwhelm you with physical tools, but that doesn't mean you can't be a good big league player. We watched Polanco here for a few years without exceptional tools really flourish as a second baseman here.
Strike called. He got him looking. Sizemore is out, and 4 strikeouts for Weaver. Looks like runs are going to be tough to come by today. We are professional grade. Back here in the Motor City in a cloudy, overcast day. No rain, though, at this point. That's the good news. The lights are turned on here at the ballpark, and we do have baseball, the final game in the series. Kind of gloomy, but not bad. I mean, the temperature's decent as long as the wet stuff stays away. Brandon Wood will start things off, then Reggie Willits and Eric Ibar facing Justin Verlander. Brandon Wood is 2 for 6 in the series with an RBI.
He had a good day yesterday. He had 3 balls right on the screws yesterday to Wood, and he hadn't been doing that much this year for the Angels. He should have had 3 hits, but Bonder made a nice play on a line drive back up the middle, and they got a double play out of that.
Well, after starting the season at 087 through 46 at bats, he's picked it up now. He is 10 for his last 25. 2-1 on Brandon Wood. The Angels also have Meiser Turris, who is battling a bit of a sore shoulder at this point, so he has not played in this series. Although they tell us he could swing the bat, he is not able to play defense yet. So Wood is out there every day at third base. 2-2 on Brandon Wood. Mike Scioscia's team is kind of treading water at this point. 12-13 coming into play today. But they certainly are positioned in the winnable West very well. There's a drive into right field. Ordonez is there. One gone. That's what's happening in the West. Just about everybody at 500.
Seattle has just gotten a whole lot better. One of their aces, they've got 2 of them. Felix Hernandez, but now Cliff Lee's back pitching as well. So that 2-headed monster will be very good the remainder of the way.
Seattle lost the game last night in which Hernandez started.
Yeah.
Here's a bunt toward third. Going to be tough for Brandon. Willis can run, but he got him by half a step.
Are you kidding me, Brandon? You can't make a better bunt if you're Willis. Take a look at the bunt. Perfect bunt. He's got speed. Inge comes in, palm of the hand to the fingertips, and flips it across the diamond accurately off balance to get the out. What an incredible athlete at that position.
Ooh. No errors. There's a strike called on Eric Ibar.
I guess Ibar wanted to see, are you really that good, Brandon? Let me try you too. Are you really that good?
The answer is yes. Ibar fly to center field this first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eric in the series 2 for 10. He leads the Angels with 15 runs scored. We've documented how he is still trying to learn a new position in the lineup, and that would be the leadoff spot. 1-2. It seems, Rod, and we have seen this Angels team just a few times here early in the season, but they are a different team without Figgins.
No question about that. And Lackey. And Miss Lackey, too.
True. Ball high.
But really, it's an Angels team that, for the most part, they don't get off to great starts. I mean, in Scioscia's tenure, they very seldom get off to sizzling starts. They finished the month of April 12-12, but, I mean, they're right where they want to be. They're a talented group, and they know how to play the game of baseball. And they don't panic. There's no panic.
Of course, Vladimir Guerrero is also part of that list of folks that left. And Darren Oliver, don't underscore his importance last year.
Took the words right out of my mouth. All those guys are good, but they miss Oliver right now. Middle relief right now for them.
Checked it. I don't think he went. He did not.
Vladimir's off to a sizzling start in Texas, but that's pretty much a wash with Matsui, both professional hitters. Both guys going to drive in runs.
Three-two pitch. Bouncing ball right side, right at Cabrera. Verlander will cover. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Justin. He had to look outstanding today.
Tigers game, group tickets, picnics, and party suites are on sale now. Groups of 15 or more get discount tickets to select games while supplies last. Order your group tickets at 313-471-BALL or visit tigers.com.
Ooh, we got a fight going on here.
Mommy, make him stop it.
Here's Santiago leading it off as we go to the bottom of the third. That's what happens when you buy the Tiger Claw.
You see her look at that mom. Mom.
There you go. What's up, little buddies? Foul back out of play, 1-1.
Big brother's always beating up on the little brother.
Yep.
Some things never change.
No, that is for sure.
And every now and then it's the big sister beating up on the little brother.
Here's the 1-1. Loop toward left field. Willits coming hard. Not going to get there. 1-2 on Santiago. By the way, congratulations go out to Blair Brown, the daughter of our esteemed traveling secretary, Bill Brown, who graduated from the University of Michigan yesterday.
Did she?
She did.
Congratulations, Blair, and to the entire Brown family.
I know Bill is very proud. And Bill right now is busily getting us ready for the next stop on our road trip.
Do you think Bill dropped a tear or two?
Oh, I'm sure he did. And Bill's not one of those teary guys, but I'm sure he did.
He's been with the Tigers for 46 years now, and he handles all of the arranging for the team travel, hotels, flights, you name it. Bill Brown does it. 46 years.
It's a lot of years. He's seen a lot of players come and go.
Yes, he has.
And announcers
too, yeah. He's outlasted everybody.
Kedry Morales handles that one, and Santiago is out. One gone. So again, congratulations to Blair Brown and Bill Brown. I know Bill is proud of you. Top of the order now. Here is Austin Jackson. Well, these two guys are pitching like aces today, that's for certain.
Well, which means runs are going to be at a premium, but it's really nothing new when the Angels and the Tigers hook up. Just about every time they play, the games are decided 2 runs or fewer. They just play close games against each other because both have good teams.
Well, it looked like the Tigers would get an early run on Weaver. They got the double from Jackson. A wild pitch got him to third with nobody out, but Weaver then struck out the side. And an impressive display back in the first inning to avoid that run.
Back-to-back breaking balls to Jackson, the second of which threading the strike zone. Weaver's got a good fastball today, anywhere from 90 to 93. He's got some late life on it. He's got 4 strikeouts. All 4 of his strikeouts have come on the fastball.
Jackson, meanwhile, has hit safely in 5 straight. He had an 8-game hitting streak back in April at the start of the year.
And Jackson should get himself a good fastball to hit right here.
And it's into left field, a base hit. The hits just keep on coming for Austin Jackson. He is 2 for 2.
Well, first and foremost, he's getting himself into really nice hitters count. And we've talked about the leg kick of Jackson. Take a look at the foot here. Now, once the foot gets down, that's when everything starts for him. He recognizes, foot's down. He's already recognized it's going to be a strike, and the hands are back, and that's when you get maximum bat speed. And boy, has he been getting some serious bat speed through the strike zone.
Team high 13 multiple hit games for Austin Jackson. Now Johnny Damon with 1 out. Strike 1 on Johnny, who struck out in the first inning.
Here's where you like to have a guy that is usually not in a hurry to hit when there's runners on first base. He knows what his role is, and that's to try to get Jackson over to third. And a lot of managers like to have that left-handed swinger in this situation. With the base runner being held on, you can hit something right through that hole.
And Scioscia thought he might be running. Not so. Well, here's a good sign. Verlander's pitch count in much better shape than Weaver's is.
That's exactly what we talked about in our pitching profile for Weaver today. Drive the pitch count up. Out competing. Weaver's kind of hard to run on. It's kind of tough to get a good jump on. He doesn't take all that long getting the ball to Napoli. However, Napoli doesn't throw all that well. But Weaver, he is no slouch in, giving his catcher time to throw. Ooh, good pitch.
1-2.
Real good pitch. Damon sitting on that fastball. And a lot of times when you bat number 2, you get lots of fastballs if you've got a speedy leadoff hitter like Jackson, because the opposing team is always thinking about him running, and fastballs are a lot easier to throw guys out with than slow breaking balls.
Little pop-up foul back out of play. There's an interesting stat on Weaver. His first 60 pitches of a game this season, opponents are batting really low. After that, though, it jumps up quite a bit. And right now he is at 62 pitches. Another throw back, and Jackson back in, standing up. Two and two.
Mike Scioscia, longest tenured manager in the American League, his 11th season at the helm of the Los Angeles Angels. He's gone to the playoffs 6 times. No other manager in history has gone to the postseason 6 of his first 10 years as a manager.
Over 900 wins Scioscia has racked up, and he'll continue to build on that number this year. There you have it, 912 victories. Runner back again. And that included a 100 victory season a couple of years ago in 2008. Now the 2-2, runner bluffing, strike 3 called, and Damon for the second time is down on strikes.
That's that fastball that Avila was talking about before the game today, across the body. As a hitter, it looks like this ball is going to hit you, and you can see it freezes Damon. That ball gets a lot of play that kind of creeps back over the dish, but to the naked eye, if you're Damon in the batter's box, you think that ball is going to be inside.
So with 2 outs, that's going to bring up Ordonez. 5 strikeouts for Jared Weaver. Pitch out again. And again, Jackson not going anywhere. Maglio struck out back in the first inning. Jackson has a single and a double in this game. 2 more hits. And there goes the runner, and a bouncing ball hit towards short. Ibar comes in to make the play, and the Tigers are done. So 3 innings in the books. Still no score in this one. Austin Jackson off to a terrific start, so hopefully by the end of the year he'll be in that conversation. The Tigers, in their history, have had 2 position players to win that award. Can you name them? Plenty of kids to the ballpark today. That one dressed up as an avatar tiger, I suppose. And here come the Angels now as we go to the 4th inning. Verlander got a 1-2-3 third. That's 2 straight 1-2-3 innings. First pitch in there for a strike. 7 straight retired by Justin. Abreu, then Hunter, and then Matsui here in the Angels' 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right back to the mound. Verlander protecting himself. Has an out, 1 away. That's 8 straight retired by Justin. Let's go back to the studio now and join Mickey York for an update on the Twins and Tribe. Mick. All right, Mickey, thank you. The Tigers coming into play a half game behind Minnesota. Cleveland hanging in there, just 3 games under the 500 mark.
Manny Acta's got them playing some good baseball. We'll see those Cleveland Indians next weekend.
Well, they've got a lot of good young players. They have some prospects. It just may take a year or 2 before I guess they're back on the landscape. Although who knows, maybe sooner. 0-2 on Torrey Hunter. Hunter had a single back in the 1st inning. Verlander's 0-2. Hit the other way, but right there is Cabrera. 2 gone, and that's 9 in a row set down by Verlander. It's going to bring on Matsui. Well, it's really good to see Verlander's pitch count in much better shape than it has been in his previous starts. He's been much more economical. There's Matsui hitting a soft 1-hopper, and that's going to be another 1-2-3 inning. So Verlander right now in cruise control mode with 10 straight retired. One more time, what 2 position players for Detroit have won an American League Rookie of the Year award? And the answer is Harvey Keene back in 53 as the shortstop. Lou Whitaker in 78. The Tigers' second baseman. Here's some numbers on that duo. Harvey Keene played with Al Kaline here in Detroit in the 50s. And of course, Lou was part of that 84 World Championship team. Weaver back to the hill facing Cabrera here in the fourth. Ball up high. 1 ball, 1 strike on Miguel. Both teams have had trouble getting anything going, although the Tigers did have the leadoff double in the first and failed to score him. 10 straight retired by Verlander. 2-1 on Cabrera. Bosch will follow, and then Brandon Inge. Weaver working quickly. The 2-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. He got him to pop it up. Right side of the infield. Morales calling and catching. 1 gone. I want to remind you today that this game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Here comes Brendan Bosch now with 1 out.
Brendan Bosch coming to the plate with a little Snoop Dogg playing in the background.
I didn't even notice.
How about that?
A little insight into Mr. Bosch's personality.
Yeah, a little Snoop Dogg.
Want to know on Brennan. He grounded out in his first at bat. That's off the end of the bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bosch, a Southern California kid. I'm sure grew up watching the Angels or the Dodgers. Born in Santa Monica.
Yep. Snoop Dogg right down the street in Long Beach.
We're going to have to ask him about that tomorrow. 2-1. Jackson has 2 hits, a single and a double. Inge has a base hit. Those are the 3 the Tigers have put up against Weaver. Lifted in the air. Back is short. Ibar is back, and 2 gone.
Hey fans, our Red Wings playoff coverage continues Tuesday with game 3 of their conference semi-final series against the San Jose Sharks. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. with Red Wings Live, followed by the game at 7:30. Red Wings playoff hockey presented by Bell Tire, Tuesday night on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. Special note there, Tigers Twins on Tuesday will now be televised on Fox Sports Detroit Plus.
Bumped again?
Yeah. Second time this year.
It's all right. Wings playing later on tonight. Game 2 in that series. Best of luck. Strike called on Inge. 1-1.
Weaver's pitch count is up, and that may be the Tigers' best opportunity at winning this game today. Get him out of there as soon as you possibly can and somehow get into that Angels middle relief, which has struggled this year because Weaver, it looks awfully good.
Well, even with Lackey in their rotation last year, Weaver led the Angels in wins, starts, and innings pitched. Ooh, he slung that one,
didn't he, though?
And landed awkwardly.
Could be dangerous.
Inge tried to hold up, couldn't do it, struck him out. That's 6 strikeouts now for Jared Weaver. Visit your local Jaguar dealer to experience the 2011 Jaguar XJ. Cloudy day here in the Motor City. Warm nonetheless. Temperature right now it's 73, and the bats are pretty cold, and that's because Verlander and Weaver pitching today in a really good one. It'll be Kendry Morales to lead it off. Morales looks at a strike. He is 0 for 1. Verlander has retired 10 straight Angels. In fact, the only man to reach against him was the Torrey Hunter single back in the first. That one just missed. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Verlander 11 of 14 in first pitch strikes today. And a guy like Verlander that has the kind of stuff that he has, if you're sitting 0-1 all day long, and if you're an Angels hitters, you're not going to have a lot of success against JV.
Now it's 1-2. And it really has not been a day in which Verlander has recorded a lot of strikeouts. He has only 2, and that's probably one reason why his pitch count's in good shape. The 1-2 pitch. He held up. Three hits for the Tigers, only 1 for the Angels. Avila putting down the signs today. Here's the 2-2. Morales to be followed by Kendrick in the Napoli.
It's the first time Avila has caught Verlander this year, but they are in pretty good sync together this afternoon. Real good sync, as a matter of fact.
High fly ball, right field. Maglio will have room out there in right center. And 1 gone. Well, a lot has been made about the pitch counts of Justin Verlander, and Verlander says, you know, sometimes pitch counts can be very misleading.
Slightly overrated. I think you can't really put a stamp on people and say this is how many pitches this guy has or pitchers have, you know, because it seems like 110, 115, 120 is kind of it for everybody. And I think it's hard to say this guy's the same as that guy. Everybody's different.
There's a bouncing ball back up the middle to his right. Sizemore, and out is Kendrick. It's 12 in a row. So speaking of those pitch counts, here it is by inning for Verlander.
Great observation by Verlander, differentiating the difference in pitchers. I mean, obviously he's a horse. I mean, he's 6'5", 230, big strong legs, blessed with a tremendous throwing arm. He can throw more pitches than most guys and then come back and bounce back 5 days from now. I mean, it's just God-given talent.
Here is Mike Napoli. Strike 1 to Napoli.
Verlander's last 2 starts, he went over 120 pitches in both of those starts. 125 2 starts ago. Excuse me, 121 2 starts ago, and then 125 his last start. Ooh. He's pitching today, though. Buckled his knees.
Well, you were talking about this a little bit earlier in terms of landing spots. It's a really good contrast to the way these two guys bring the ball to the plate. If you look at the landing spots on the mound, you'll see one on the left and one on the right. The one on the left is where Weaver ends up. The one on the right is where Verlander ends up. There's a breaking ball down low.
And we were talking about the fact that when Verlander steps, hold it right when he steps, right there. See, that's where you teach most guys. Directly lined up toward home plate. You can see the glove tuck, front shoulder locked and loaded. Whereas Weaver stepping 2 to 3 feet from there. And, of course, we've talked about the fact that he throws across his body.
There they are.
Here's Weaver's. And here's Verlander's.
Yet the results pretty much the same today.
But those two guys are happy about that because a lot of times starting pitchers, they land up in the same spot.
True.
And they don't like that. I mean, they don't like landing in the same spot. Some guys are bigger, some guys are taller, and sometimes it creates problems for pitchers.
Verlander has another strikeout as he dispatches Napoli. 1-2-3 inning. Third strikeout for Verlander. Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. Well, he has been absolutely outstanding today. He's given up just one hit to the Angels through 5 innings of work. Tigers, though, have not been able to get too much going against Jared Weaver, so it's a scoreless game on a cloudy day here in the Motor City, wrapping up this homestand and this 3-game series. And what a homestand it would be for the Tigers. If they could scratch out a win today, they would have won 5 of the 6 on this homestand. Tigers have Alex Avila leading it off. It'll be Avila, Sizemore, and Santiago against Jared Weaver. Breaking ball dips in. 1 ball, 1 strike out of Avila. Weaver now has retired 5 straight. He has 6 strikeouts overall today. One and 2. Wind is starting to whip up now here at the ballpark. The 1-2 pitch to right field. There's the base hit for Alex. Leadoff man is on.
We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. First 3 pitches, all off-speed pitches to Avila. After the first time he was up, he got fastballs from Weaver. And as a matter of fact, after the 3rd swing on the changeup, Avila is talking to himself. But then Weaver leaves the changeup up in the strike zone, and it looks like Avila is out in front with the body, but the hands still stayed back long enough for him to get himself a base hit, a much-needed base hit for Avila.
I would say so. And the Tigers have their 4th hit of this game. Here's Sizemore. He shows bunt, pops it up, foul.
1 run might win this game, and that's exactly the reason Sizemore was up there sacrificing, at least on the first pitch from Weaver. And Weaver had an idea he would do as much and elevated the fastball, and Sizemore popped it up. Gene Lamont. Gene's a good third base coach. Nice traffic cop in that third base box.
Now the 0-1. He's swinging away this time, and he fouls it away, and now it's 0-2. So they gave him one opportunity to lay down the bunt. No runs, 4 hits for Detroit. No runs, 1 hit for the Angels. Line drive, base hit right field. He went the other way. Avila coming to third base. And the throw is cut off. Tigers in business now with nobody out.
A couple of hanging breaking balls to the rookies here in this inning by Weaver, and Sizemore, after falling behind, no balls, 2 strikes, stays with it, keeps the head down, slices one the opposite way. Avila, I was watching him when that ball went down in the right field corner. He didn't even look up to see whether Gene Lamont was asking him to come to third or not. He made the decision on his own that he was going to go to third base.
So the Tigers get another runner as far as third. We'll see if they can cash this one in. They now have 5 hits in this game. Here's Santiago.
They must cash this one in.
Santiago is 0 for 1 with the ground ball. Ball inside and high. Spinning Ramon out of the box.
Just in case. Jim was thinking about squeezing with Santiago. Buzz the tower a little bit. Defense not playing in. Playing for 2 up the middle. Corners will come home.
In the air, right field, sinking, and that ball will land fair. 1 run is in. Sizemore gets to third. Santiago has an RBI hit. Barely fair. 3 straight hits for Detroit.
Weaver makes a pretty good pitch. It's a fastball. It's up. It's in. Santiago fights it off. And Abreu can't get to it. He just fights that ball off. And he was entertaining the thought of going for 2. But thought better of it after Abreu was able to get over there and catch the ball on 1 bounce.
Tigers now have 6 hits. They break the scoreless tie. Still nobody out. And here is Austin Jackson. Right down the middle for strike 1 on Jackson. A fastball from Weaver. Austin a single and a double in this game. And the average up to 368. Fouled away. "39 hits to lead the American League."
That's impressive. That is impressive. Who would have thunk it?
I don't know. That's rolled foul. I mean, we knew this young man had talent, but the way he is run out of the chute this year from the get-go has been impressive.
Plays the game with a lot of confidence. No panic. Has the uncanny ability to slow the game down when the game speeds up for most rookies.
One ball, 2 strikes on Jackson. Tigers have Sizemore down at third, and they have Santiago at first. Way outside to get to the backstop. Sizemore is safe. The throw gets away from Weaver, but Santiago will stay at second base. Wild pitch.
Only the second wild pitch of the year for Jared Weaver, and both have come in this game. Napoli has no shot at catching this ball, but it ricocheted off the backstop in a hurry, and Weaver just couldn't get there in time, and an errant throw by Napoli didn't allow them to get the out there of Sizemore sliding in.
Not only had Weaver not had one coming into this game, and he has 2 today, but he had only 3 all of last year. Tigers take advantage and take a 2-0 lead.
Hey fans, all you can eat seats at Comerica Park are now on sale, located in the upper suite level. Seats come with an endless supply of hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken, soft drinks, and more. Call 866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com.
Activity in the bullpen. Jason Bulger is heating up. Weaver at 94 pitches right now here in the 5th inning.
Now, somehow Jackson was able to advance Santiago over to third base. That would be lovely. Most managers don't ask you to do it once you've gotten 2 strikes on you and the base runner's just getting there in the middle of your at-bat. But, boy, if they could get Santiago over to third base, which would make it a little easier for Damon to drive him in, it would be lovely.
Base hits by Avila and Sizemore started the frame. Santiago knocked one in with a single.
This much we do know: the majority of the 31 hits that Jackson has this year have gone up the middle or the opposite way.
Johnny Damon waiting his turn on deck.
Torrey Hunter is playing about as shallow as I've seen a center fielder play in this yard right now. If Jackson hits something in the gap to left center field, he'll get an inside the park home run.
I noticed that last half inning with Inge up there. He was playing really shallow.
Look at Torrey Hunter in center field.
Slow tapper, third base side. Weaver pouncing on it. And a nice play to throw him out.
Quality at bat. Productive out, too.
Runner advances with one away.
Jackson will get some high fives when he gets back in that dugout. Change up, and you can see the grip by Weaver. Lincoln Mercury Exmo, and Jackson right off the end of the bat.
Well, here's a situation you were talking about before. Johnny Damon has said you can strike out twice in a game, but don't let it get you down. All it takes is one quality at bat to help your team win a game, and Johnny has fanned in his first 2 at bats.
Both looking, both on fastballs, inside. But he's a quality hitter. Huge walk-off home run yesterday that sent all the Tiger fans home happy.
And Mike Scioscia has no choice now but to play the infield in with Verlander on the mound and pitching as well as he has.
Santiago, one of those guys that might come on contact, depending on how aggressive he is with his secondary lead.
Rolled to the right side. Santiago was not coming on contact, and they will record the out. Damon is 0 for 3. So that's going to leave it up to Maglio Ordonez with 2 outs. Ordonez a strikeout and a ground out. Wave and a miss, 0-1.
Well, their game plan coming in was to drive the pitch count up, and that's exactly what they have done. And Weaver might not come back out for the 6th in this game.
Two and 1 the count.
Told you coming in that Weaver's earned run average is over 6 in his career against Tigers hitters, so they kind of stress him out. A couple of starts ago, he threw a season high 117 pitches against the Tigers out in Anaheim. And that, he needed like an 8-pitch 7th inning to do that.
Right. Well, Ordonez trying to get this third run in for Verlander, who has given up just 1 hit through 5 innings.
It's a lousy single to right field would be good here.
Ball high, and Maglio gets a walk instead. The first walk of the game for Weaver. It's going to bring up Cabrera. Strikeout and a pop-up for Miguel. Foul away. Tigers coming into today had played in 25 games. Cabrera had hit safely in 24 of those. Actually had reached base in 24 of those. But it's been a terrific start for the big fella. He leads the league in RBIs with 26. They need him right here, though, with 2 outs to try and expand this lead. One and one. Driven to center field, base hit. A 2-out knock for Cabrera. Santiago scores 3-0 Detroit.
Got a fastball that stayed up in the strike zone, and Cabrera able to get up and get it and hit a seed in the center field. Verlander digging it today.
So Weaver will depart. The Wallside Windows pitching change. They get him out in the 5th inning. And as Mike Scioscia goes to the bullpen, Cabrera has come up with a 2-out hit, a clutch knock to make it 3-0. And for the time being, Verlander out pitching Weaver in what was a dynamite pitching matchup coming into this one this afternoon. The Tigers trying to sweep the Angels out of town.
Let's take a look at how the Tigers were able to knock Weaver out of the ball game. A couple of off-speed pitches to Avila and Sizemore before Santiago singles into the outfield. Then you've got the wild pitch. And after the base on balls to Maglio Ordonez, it's the big fella. He leads the American League in RBIs, and he adds to his total.
So Verlander now, with the way he's pitching today, has a really nice cushion to work with. Justin has retired 13 straight Angels, and his teammates have now given him a 3 spot here in the 5th.
Game plan shouldn't change. I think he's on a mission today. He knows that the Tigers bullpen has pitched more innings than any other bullpen, and although they've been very successful, it's not a remedy for long-term success if your bullpen is leading the league in innings pitched.
Jason Bulger is your new pitcher now for the Angels.
He comes in unblemished as far as the record is concerned, but the earned run average rather lofty in 7 2/3 innings. 7 base on balls against 6 strikeouts for the big fella, Bulger.
Well, the number is not yet complete on Weaver. He has gone 4 2/3, still responsible for Cabrera out there and Ordonez.
Weaver had 5 starts this year for the Angels. All 5 of his starts were quality starts, 6 innings or more, 3 earned runs or less. Not the case today.
Yeah, the 4 2/3, the quickest he has been bounced out of a game this year. Here's Brennan Bosch. Drives this one fair down the right field line. Here comes Ordonez. He'll score. Cabrera chugging to third base. They'll stop him there. And Bosch has a double and an RBI. Big Brennan
Bosch be leaning on some stuff. And I mean, he leans on it. He gets a breaking ball right there. First pitch swinging, as he always does. And he hits an absolute missile down in the right field corner. I mean, a missile. Boy, does he generate some bat speed. Are you kidding me? Ooh, right in your living room.
Tigers now have 8 hits. And some big 2-out hits. Cabrera and now Bosch. It's 4-0. Inge takes the ball outside.
Tigers able to win that game yesterday despite really struggling with runners in scoring position the majority of the afternoon. That is not the case here today.
One ball, one strike. RBIs in the inning for Cabrera, Bosch, and Santiago. The wild pitch scoring another. Inside, straightens him up.
Ever since I can remember, the Tigers have been longing to find that left-handed power bat. I think he might be here.
Well, the early returns are pretty good. Bosch certainly hits the ball with authority. The 2-1. Try to hold up. Couldn't do it. 2-2 on Brandon.
And really, Bosch's power is no fluke. 28 home runs last year and was rated as having the best power potential in the Eastern League.
Well, that's why Johnny Damon's signing was so important, getting another left-handed bat in the lineup. Bosch may be yet another. The 2-2 is outside, 3-2. .70 doubles now for the Tigers. Jackson had one earlier in the game. Full count, 3-2. Here comes the crowd. Swing and a miss. Inge is down on strikes. They send 9 men to the plate, and they get Verlander 4 runs. Now, Justin Verlander has scattered. He's given up just 1 hit, and he has retired 13 straight. And he'll face Wood, Willits, and Ibar on a cloudy afternoon here at the ballpark. Tigers lead it 4-0. Brandon Wood is 0 for 1 with a fly ball. There's a strike called on Brandon. Tigers have out hit the opponent today 8-1. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Verlander's strikeout total today is 3. He has fanned Napoli twice. And he's gotten Kendrick. Here comes the 1-2. Willits waiting on deck. 2-2 is fouled straight back by Brandon Wood.
Verlander reached back to get 97 that time. One of the fastest fastballs that he's thrown today. He's been anywhere from 93 to 96. Not reaching back and overthrowing here today at all.
In the air to right field, Maglio coming on, and one gone. Right now, as we have a chance, let's go back to the studio. We join Mickey York with an update on the Twins and Tribe. Mick. All right, Mickey, thank you. Here's Reggie Willits. He takes ball 1 outside. Willits for the bounce out back in the third, 0 for 1. Reggie was born in Oklahoma. Not a whole lot of power to his game. And he looks at a strike 2 and 1. In fact, growing up, he really loved watching a certain player whose speed was a part of his game, and that was Kenny Lofton. All those years, mainly with the Cleveland Indians early in his career. Fouled away, 2 and 2, and Lofton used to wear the number 7. So when Willis got to the big leagues, he wanted 7, but couldn't wear 7 because that's Mickey Hatcher's number. And so he went with 77.
Hatch wouldn't give it to him?
No. I guess he wouldn't budge.
I bet if he'd have put a Rolex watch in his locker, he would have budged. That's how they do it.
I'm with you on that.
If you want a certain number.
Where's the Rolex?
That veteran player. Nice little Rolex watch. Mickey would have had no problem.
2 and 2.
Mickey's done nice work over the years with these Angels hitters. He's been with Socha for 11 straight seasons.
Bosch handles this one. There are 2 gone.
His offensive has kind of evolved too. He's an old school guy, Mickey Hatcher. I mean, he used to be straight turn and burn with a lot of the hitters that he had in the early days. But, you know, now they're looking at pitch counts and plate discipline, and they're taking more walks. Bobby Abreu deserves a lot of that credit, but it's a different kind of Angels team these days.
Well, it's an Angels team last year that established a franchise record. Runs scored.
Yeah, 883, I believe it was.
And they average about 6 runs a game. 0-1 on Eric Ibar. Verlander's 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball and a dandy.
Well, he's got them all going today. The breaking ball, the changeup, the fastball in the mid-90s. Very few sliders today. It's a new pitch for Verlander, but he hadn't really needed any of those sliders today.
Well, you made an interesting, I think, observation earlier in the game that he hasn't come out or didn't come out in this game throwing 97, 98 in the first inning.
Here's the slider. Finally throws one, and that's at 88 miles an hour. If he continues to locate that slider down there, then it's going to be lights out for the rest of the American League here, the final 4 months.
Swing and a miss. And that's all for Ibar. That's all for the Angels. 16 straight retired by Justin Verlander.
in this game. It scores like 6 innings. That means it's the freeze cam. Willett's real good speed running out of the batter's box from the left side. Inge comes in, grabs it in the palm of the hand, gets it to the fingertips, and flips it over to first base accurately for the out. Coors Light Freeze Cam is always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
So it is 4-0 in favor of Detroit as we go to the bottom of the 6th. And it'll be Alex Avila to lead it off. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Tigers. No runs, 1 hit for the Angels. Justin Verlander has been in command all day long. He's retired 16 straight. The only hit he gave up was a Torrey Hunter single in the first inning. Avila had a base hit, part of that 4-run 5th. One ball and 1 strike. Alex also came around to score a run in the 5th inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch.
Told you earlier that Avila catching Verlander for the first time this year and has done a marvelous job at handling Verlander today.
The 2-1. That is whistled fair down the right field line. Avila takes the turn. He's going to try it for 2 as it rolls away from Abreu, and he's in there standing up.
Told you earlier that Avila feels like he's not able to get to the fastball, and he's making some adjustments and simply having the mindset there on a 2-1 pitch. Even though it's a breaking ball, he's thinking fastball, which means the bat's sped up and the bat is out in front, and he does make contact, and that's why he hooked that ball right past Morales. Thinking fastball 2-1, but he gets a breaking ball, still able to get to it.
Here's Scott Sizemore. Big single last inning. Showing bunt this time, and he takes it high and outside.
I like that. Played the game the right way. Don't think the bunt came from the dugout, but Sizemore knows the situation. Runner on second, nobody out. Get the job done any way that you can get the job done by getting him to third base.
Sizemore has a team high 3 sacrifices in the early going. Ball inside, 2-0. You know, the Tigers yesterday were 1 for 13 with men in scoring position.
Yep.
Today they're 3 for 9, so they're a little bit better.
It helps when you've got that cat right there, number 24. How long do you think he's going to let that fro go this year?
I was thinking about that myself. Last week I was thinking. As long as he's hitting, I suppose, which could be all season. Here's the bunt. He'll get the job done. Sizemore is out, but advancing to third is Avila.
Hey fans, visit the official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers merchandise, including clubhouse caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts. Well, you get the idea. You can get it all there, straight from the source at Tigers.com.
It's going to bring up Santiago. High fives for Mr. Sizemore. Trying to set up that 5th Tigers run. Infield about halfway against Santiago.
You can play the infield at the depth that they're playing it at right now and still not have Avila come on contact. That's why they have relaxed a little bit. They don't think the Tigers will come on contact, and if you're Socia, you might be able to knock down a base hit by having the guys not in at the cut of the grass.
Loop foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
Usually 4 different depths. You've got the number 1 depth where you're all the way in. Number 2 as where they are right now. Number 3, which would be double play depth. We showed you that last half inning. And then 4 when they're all the way back. So you've got 4 different depths in the infield to play your infielders depending on the situation.
It'll pop up, and the third baseman Wood will handle this one. 2 gone. While we have an opportunity, we want to send our condolences to one of our colleagues here at Fox Sports Detroit, one of our tape men in the truck, Bob Zahari, who lost his father George last week, and George was a terrific and big Tigers fan. Bob, our condolences, and we're thinking about you, and thanks for being here with us.
Absolutely.
That'll bring up Austin Jackson now with 2 gone. There's a strike called on Jackson, who is 2 out of 3 today with a double and a single. And the average at 364. Strike called, 0-2. Well, the Tigers broke this one open a little bit in a close pitching duel between Weaver and Verlander, with 4 runs against Jarrett in the 5th inning. Here's the 0-2. Fouled away. 9 Tigers hits now in this game. And that has helped Mr. Verlander. And Justin has not needed a whole lot of help today. He has given up 1 measly hit, a single, in the 1st inning of Torrey Hunter. Right back up the middle. There's another hit and an RBI for Austin Jackson.
He's amazing. Hitting 350 with runners in the scoring position, and has the uncanny ability to just take what's given to him, especially when runners are on the base paths. A lot of base hits right back up the middle. Lots of base hits the opposite way. For a young player, he is off to a sizzling start to his big league career.
Well, there's no part of the field that is safe for him. I mean, he peppers every part of the field, foul line to foul line. Verlander says, thank you very much. I'll take that run as well.
JB still got that scowl on his face, though.
Damon looking for his first hit. That scowl probably will be etched on his face until he gets on the plane tonight, headed to Minnesota in game day mode. The 0-1. So make it 10 Tigers hits in this game. Line down the right field side, but foul, and that one bangs against the fence down there. 1-2. Johnny recently scored his 1,500th run. 10 times in his career he has scored 100 or more in a season. Loop toward left field. Willis will haul it in to retire the side. Tigers get another run. 6 innings in the books, and they lead by 5. And the fan ticket marketplace to the Detroit Tigers. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today. Got a defensive replacement. Don Kelly now is the new left fielder for the Tigers. Brennan Bosch out of the game. Verlander is still in there because he's given up just one hit and retired 16 straight Angels. 5-0 Detroit. 7th inning underway. First pitch is in for a strike on Bobby Abreu.
Verlander is now 16 of 20 in first pitch strikes today. Extraordinary.
That was just his 80th pitch.
Looking like Roy Halladay out there. You see where Halladay pitched another complete game yesterday?
It's amazing, isn't it?
2 already this year.
This day and age.
80% of the pitches he threw were strikes. Now that's mind-boggling.
And it tells you something, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure.
There's a strike call. 1-2. Abreu watches it sail outside. How high would you put Halladay on your list of pitchers in baseball today? Certainly top 5. He might even be top 3.
I think he's top 1.
Do you really?
No, seriously. I mean, there's some other guys with better stuff. And I mean, there is. There's some guys that have better stuff than Halladay.
Jackson on the run for this one. Still going. They'll get it.
But no one works as hard as Halladay. He preps very well. And then when he gets on the mound, he's just so economical at missing bats.
"17 straight retired by Verlander. Torrey Hunter.
You got somebody above him right now?
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't. And I agree with your statement that there are guys out there with probably better physical stuff. But in pitching, the ability to pitch
to contact
without, and still get outs by doing that. It's pretty amazing. The 0-1 to Hunter. And a bouncing ball to third. Inge to his left. Verlander keeps cruising along.
Well, usually we save this honor for Zamaya, but doesn't look like Zamaya is going to get in this game today. Not the way that JV is pitching. It's our Comcast high-speed pitch range, and Verlander has touched 98 today and has gone as low as 77. 21-mile-per-hour differential, which is tremendous when you're coming from the same arm slot, the same speed, and you're featuring 4 different pitches out of that same window.
Here's Matsui with 2 outs.
He just looks good today. I mean, just under control, nice tempo, not shaking the velo off too much, although Verlander's calling his own game.
Tempo is the key word. You're right. I mean, there's not a whole lot of wasted energy out there.
Best curveball he's had this year. And he knew his bullpen needed a rest.
Well, the stretch of 20 straight games without an off day is starting to wind down. They'll have 3 more in Minnesota to start the road trip tomorrow, and then it's an off day on Thursday in Cleveland. So they'll finally get that one-day blow that Jim Leyland wanted badly for his team, but he's been able to navigate his bullpen through this. 2-2, but then after that off day, it's back to work for another long stretch.
This is the big leagues. Them Yankees in Boston and the White Sox come to town. Then it's back out west.
That'll be a stretch of 18 straight. The 2-2 is in the air toward left. Don Kelly is there, and another 1-2-3 inning for Justin Verlander. 19 straight retired.
800-521-7800. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Here is our Comerica game summary this afternoon. Austin Jackson, what a series it has been for the young man. 9 for 14. Verlander, 19 straight retired. Alex Avila starting to heat up now offensively. Avila with a couple of hits in this game as well. So the Tigers bring a lead into the bottom of the 7th inning as they go for the sweep here. Jackson, one of the stars today, and the youngsters enjoying this one, watching Verlander twirl a gem.
That fella had a visit from the Tooth Fairy.
How much money you got? Let's check out the McDonald's voting, by the way, while we have a chance.
Got to be Verlander.
And no surprise, Jackson is second, and no surprise, Inge is third. Final results before we close up shop today. And we have a new pitcher on now for the Angels. It's Brian Stokes.
And Mike Scioscia has used Mr. Stokes quite often this year. 12th time that he's been on. Good numbers. Earned run average is shade under 4. 12 strikeouts, 10 walks. He's yielded a couple of home runs in the league, hitting .295 against it.
So Stokes ready to go to work. Tigers looking to add to their 5-0 lead. And it'll be Ordonez to start it off. Maglio, then Cabrera, then Brennan Bosch. Or I take it back, he's out of the game, isn't he? Kelly in his spot. Let me write his name in there. Bosch is out. Kelly is in. Ordonez 0 for 2. He has a walk and run scored. 3 pitchers used today by the Angels. Driven foul back out of play. $25,000 plus enjoying this one. Fortunately, the rain stayed away. We got some early today. Of course, we got a lot overnight here in the Motor City. That's popped up and back out of play. This one will find the dugout, the Angels dugout. 0-2. Brian Stokes out of Montclair, California, lives in Florida now, and he strikes out Ordonez on a check swing. Maglio with a long look for Ed Hickox.
Well, what is Fox Tracks telling us? Well, it's telling us at the bottom of the strike zone.
There's Cabrera. 10 Tigers hits today, and only 1 for the Angels. Fouled away. High fly ball, shallow left field. Willett's coming hard. He calls off the shortstop and makes the catch. 2 outs. Now Don Kelly. Game 3, Wings Sharks coming up Tuesday night. Of course, the Wings playing tonight in San Jose, trying to even up that series. That's popped up. Behind the plate, Napoli appears to have room, and he does, and it's a very quick inning for Stokes. You're watching Tigers baseball this afternoon, presented by Bell Tire.
Lead at 5-0, looking for the sweep of the Angels. Justin Verlander has been in command all day long.
Well, my pitching profile today on Verlander, I told him he needed to own it. And boy, has he owned it today. 7 innings, 1 hit, no blemishes in the walk column. And he's needed just 4 strikeouts. And he's been incredibly economical. Incredibly economical.
Kendry Morales here in the 8th inning. Morales, Kendrick, and the Napoli.
I think if Verlander will tell you as much after the game, he'd rather have these types of games than the kind of games where he has to go out there and pitch in stress where he needs to strike out 10, 11 batters.
Well, and I think it all gets back to the fact that, as you mentioned, he was 92, 93, 94 early in the game. It seems like when he is in the upper 90s at the start of a game, those tend to be longer games.
He's thrown some really good sliders today, too. That last pitch to Morales was a real good slider down in at 87 miles an hour.
Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss.
Whoa. Verlander.
And that's 20 in a row retired.
Look at the changeup. 87-mile-per-hour slider on the previous pitch. Then he backs it off to about 85 with a change piece going in the other direction.
Here's Howie Kendrick. Fouled away, no balls, 2 strikes. Angels have been hitting in pitchers' counts most of this afternoon. Now Verlander's 0-2 pitch. Did he hold up? Ooh, he did. Marty Foster said he did not go. What do you think? Yeah, good call.
Yep.
1-2. That's fouled away. Kendrick 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. And another foul, back out of play.
Wow. There you have it. 20 of 24. And when he's clicking on all cylinders as he is today against the Angels, uncomfortable swings. Uncomfortable swings all afternoon.
Rolled to third base, right at Brandon Inge. 2 up, 2 down.
And it goes hand in hand. When you're throwing as many strikes as Verlander has thrown today, your defenders are on their toes every single play. Not a whole lot of standing around.
Scott Shields warming up in the Angels bullpen. Here's Mike Napoli with 2 outs. 21 in a row, retired by Verlander. And again, the only hit he had surrendered was the 2-out single by Hunter in the first inning.
Ooh. Boy, boy, boy.
Otherwise, without Hunter's base hit, we're talking about bearing down on another no-hitter.
He has that kind of stuff that whereas on any given night, he can take some no-hit stuff out there with him.
Two and one. Verlander's 2-1 pitch. 2-2 on Napoli. Well, that figure says it all right there. 105, but only 31 have missed the strike zone. Here comes the crowd again. And he missed it high. 3-2.
He reached back for a little extra that time. 99 was the velocity of that fastball that Napoli didn't offer at.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out at 99. 22 in a row. Verlander has struck out 6 in this game, and he's getting a standing O right now.
Your chance to see the Tigers battle the New York Yankees May 10th through 13th. Their only visit to Comerica Park this season. Tickets are available. And now at 866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com.
That little cutie's been cheering on the Tigers all day long. Helping Verlander out. And Scott Shields now is the new pitcher for the Angels.
They're trying to get Shields straightened out. And they realize that they need him to be much better than his numbers indicate on that graphic. If the Angels are going to win the West again and get to the postseason, they need Shields.
In Javilo Sizemore in the bottom of the 8th. 5-0 Detroit. 0-2 on Brandon.
Shields gave up the walk-off home run to Johnny Damon in yesterday's game. Damon has hit 4 career walk-off home runs, 2 of which have come against Shields.
Johnny's first as a Tiger. He's done it with 4 different teams, too. The 1-2 is rolled foul.
Yeah, he did it with Kansas City, Tigers, of course, Boston, and New York.
There it is. Shields became another victim yesterday. That's hit pretty well, but the center fielder Hunter runs it down.
Torrey Hunter was talking in an interview, and he said one of the reasons why he gets such good jumps in the outfield, he says, yes, I'm blessed with athleticism and I'm quick as far as my first steps are concerned, but he said he relies a lot on the pitchers that are pitching. He says if guys have good control, I know where they're throwing the baseball, therefore I can cheat one way or another, and that really helps me in getting great jumps in the outfield.
Here's Alex Avila.
9 straight Gold Gloves for Hunter in the outfield in the American League.
Well, what if we take it a step further? Is there a situation where the center fielder as well knows what pitch is coming in certain situations and can anticipate that way?
Yeah, that's kind of tough to see from center field. I mean, you can kind of anticipate what's coming, you know, just by where the catcher's kind of setting up and, you know, knowing what the pitcher likes to feature and also kind of knowing what the game plan might be for a particular batter on the other team. But it's kind of tough to know. And what you really have to do is just kind of move the opposite way when guys fall behind with 2 strikes, because usually your good hitters up here are trying to hit the ball the other way. So you just kind of read it that way. And something else that he does is he practices full speed in batting practice. when the balls are coming off the bat, you go full speed for a couple of hitters, and that kind of helps you too.
Alex Avila coming alive today offensively. Single, double, 2-run score. Jose Valverde warming up.
He is just warming up. I think Verlander's going back out there.
I think so, and he's just kind of getting loose in case he's needed.
Just in case.
2-2. Just what the skipper ordered today, a starting pitcher going deep into a ball game. Avila hammers that one foul. Alex has done a fabulous job as well today, guiding Verlander through what has been his best outing of the year. And one of the best he's thrown in quite some time. I mean, Verlander has retired 22 in a row. Inside. The longest outing of any Tiger pitcher this year was Verlander, going 7 innings back in the month of April. Fouled away. Shields had that knee problem last year, which limited his availability. And it's kind of been a struggle getting back to the form that he had displayed in previous seasons. There's ball 4. Avila is on for the 3rd time today. Scott Shields, by the way, is the only player on their roster remaining from their 2002 World Championship. Everybody else has parted ways. Here's Sizemore. Ball 1. Always kind of felt that somewhere down the line Shields would be a closer. And he had been a terrific setup man for all those years. In fact, Sports Illustrated named him as the setup man for the decade. Drill to left field, and Willis won't get it. It'll drop in a base hit.
He just continues to miss with his location. He's not that far from getting it together, and you can see that he's getting a little frustrated. The pitch that he makes is not a bad pitch, but he leaves it up, and that allows Sizemore to get to it. It's a fastball, but just not located well.
Here's Santiago with only 1 out. Ramon singled one in. Goes back in that 4-run 5th inning, which knocked Jared Weaver out of the game. Otherwise, Weaver was cruising along himself through 4 innings. But Verlander still staring out blankly at the field and getting ready for perhaps another inning of work. Little roller hit slowly to the right side. Shields bobbles it. No tag. Everybody's safe. Santiago is aboard.
Well, you got to pick the ball up first. Shields is trying to pick the baseball up and tag Santiago at the same time, and he whiffs on it. If you take your eye off the baseball momentarily, that's exactly what can happen. Looks up, mishandles it, no play.
So for an Angels team that has typically been outstanding defensively, they commit another error. That is their first of this game. They had 2 yesterday, 3 in the first game. Strike 1 on Jackson. Boston another 3-hit day. And the average up to 370 now. It's also knocked in a run. Jackson in the series, 14 at bats, 9 hits. And he can break this one wide open here with a base hit. I guess the other thing to consider here about Jackson is that he has struck out only once this entire series.
He's made a nice adjustment as far as that's concerned, because on that last road trip he was striking out quite frequently.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Struck him out. It's all right. 2 gone. Jackson still gets a nice round of applause. Here comes Johnny Damon. Johnny 0 for 4. He needs a base hit today. 11 Tigers hits in this game. Rolled foul, 0-1. So Avila, the runner at third base, Sizemore down at second, and Santiago is occupying first. Oh, 2. Yesterday, the walk-off against Shields. And a pounding at home plate.
And he got a pie in the face. Shaving cream pie.
You know, if those are regular pies, it's no big deal. But shaving cream is a much different animal.
Stuff gets in your eyes and it burns.
It's horrible.
G Money got him.
Laird smacked him in the face with that pie, then he ran, man. He ran into that dugout, tried to escape the cameras, but couldn't do it. But I guess it shows the chemistry on this team when the veterans are getting hit with pies now.
Yeah. Usually that's the rookies that get those shaving cream pies.
Miss it outside. Here it is. Watch Gerald. Here he comes.
Damon not even expecting. Ugh. Can you believe that? I'm a 15-year vet.
And a bouncing ball right side. Kendrick will gobble this one up. And that is that. So the Tigers, as we go to the ninth inning, will take a 5-0 lead. And Justin trying to finish it off. Verlander has given up one measly hit in this one. He's out there to try and complete this game now.
Came way back in the first inning. Torrey Hunter and got a fastball at the top of the strike zone and hit a seed right back up the middle. Torrey, good high fastball hitter anyway.
And that not only is their only hit of this game, it's their only base runner of this game. Verlander has gone on to retire 22 straight, and he will face Brandon Wood, Reggie Willits, and Eric Ibar here in the ninth. First pitch is in for a strike on Brandon Wood. Oh, and 2. Six strikeouts for Verlander. Breaking ball, make it 7. One away.
Verlander straight nasty today. Flipping that breaking ball up there.
Meister Torres will bat for Reggie Willits. Ball 1. As Torres has not played this entire series with a bad shoulder, hitting only .212 this year. One and 1. Two balls and 1 strike. There's a base hit into right field as Torres steps off the bench and gets just the second Angels hit of this game. After 23 in a row had been retired by Verlander. Called to the bullpen right now to make sure Valverde is ready to go if needed here. He was tossing in the bullpen last half inning. Here's Ibar. See the pitch count on Verlander at 115. His high water mark was 2 starts ago when he threw 125.
He's just getting loose. He's got a lot left in his tank.
Threw 121 in his last start. Runner going, and they will give him the bag. A strike is called. 0-2 on Ibar. No steal for Torres. Ibar is 0 for 3. Rolled foul, first base side. 0-2. The count remains on Eric Ibar. Javi Abreu would be next. Well, Verlander won't get the one hitter today, but the last Tigers one hitter was on July 16th of 04. Mike Maroff. He was a one hitter against the Yankees. Bouncing ball to first, but foul. Got some umbrellas popping up, so apparently some of the wet stuff's starting to fall now.
Light drizzle.
Again, the 0-2. Right back up the middle and into center field. A base hit. It's going to get a run in. His Turris will score, and it's now 5-1.
That's going to be the end of Verlander's day as well.
And Jim Leyland will come out, and Justin Verlander is about to get himself one big round of applause. So Justin Verlander gives up the baseball and listen to this round of applause as he heads back to the dugout.
He's smiling now, and why wouldn't he? He was sensational as far as pitching, but he got a little defense from himself early, a line drive right back at him, and then he just got filthy with a capital F. The changeup, the curveball, he threw some good sliders. He didn't overthrow today. For the most part, he was anywhere from 94 to 96. When he needed to dial up to 99, he was able to do that. Best game by far Verlander has pitched this year, and economically, he was tremendous.
8 1/3, 3 hits, 7 strikeouts. And he went first pitch strikes on 23 of 28.
It's amazing.
So now Bobby Abreu will stand in against the new pitcher. That would be Jose Valverde. Runner heading to second base with no throws. So move Ibar up.
Papa Grande pitching in his 14th game this year for the Tigers. He's been successful on 7 of the 8 chances he's been able to save a game, and the rest of the numbers are really good.
Two balls, no strikes. Abreu in this one 0 for 3. Here's the 2-0. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. Valverde wants a new baseball. A couple of more base runners, and it becomes interesting. Verlander today, by the way, had only 4 3-ball counts in this one. And until this one is in the books, no one feels really comfortable yet. There's a strike call. 3-1. Valverde taking over the closing role this year with the departure of Fernando Rodney, who now plays for these Angels. And so far, so good. Driven to right field. That's a base hit. They're going to stop the runner at third. And here come the Angels now in the 9th inning. That is their 4th hit of the game. First and third with 1 out. And now they've got the middle of their lineup coming up, so the Angels have some life here. And Torrey Hunter, who for most of this afternoon had their only hit, will step in. He is 1 for 3, singled way back in the first. And after that, Verlander ripped off 23 in a row before the Asturias pinch hit single.
And Torrey leads their club in grounding into double plays, 6 of them. If Valverde's able to get something at the bottom of the strike zone, we can all go home with a double play ball.
One for 4 career against Valverde.
You wouldn't think that a guy like Torrey would ground into as many double plays as he does, but he's got a big swing and he doesn't get out of the batter's box too fast. Therefore, he does ground into quite a few.
Pop that one up in the air, shallow right field. Maglio coming under it. Runner will tag, but hold. And there are 2 gone. So now the crowd will come alive. 25,000 plus. One more out to get for Valverde. Hideki Matsui. Runner goes to second with no throw, and there's a strike. One strike on Matsui. Matsui today 0 for 3, couple of ground balls and a fly ball. Strike call to the outer edge. Matsui didn't like it. And there's the response. 1-2. 1 strike away. Two balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 on Hideki Matsui. And a ground ball to second base. Sizemore has it, and the Tigers sweep the Angels. Justin Verlander brilliant this afternoon. The Tigers with a 5-1 victory over Los Angeles. Verlander retiring 23 straight. Angels at 1 point, and the Tigers get